And a good Sunday evening, everybody. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Tim Pandajis. I appreciate you taking the time on your Sunday and watching this video. We've got a lot of active weather coming our way over the next 36 hours. Hard to believe after such a beautiful weekend. Sunny skies both yesterday and today. Couldn't even find a cloud out there, and temperatures in the mid-70s. That takes a turn for very unsettled weather for during the day tomorrow. So let's briefly summarize everything, and then we'll go through it in detail over the next several minutes. So Houston's severe weather threat, it's now looking likely that we see an impactful severe weather outbreak. The timeline we're looking at for best chances of seeing strong to severe weather will be overnight Monday into the early morning commute hours of Tuesday. And that's when we're talking about damaging winds, large hail, a tornado threat, and on top of all of that, flash flooding. We could see over a half foot of rain in some locations before all is said and done. So as I mentioned, that window of opportunity, Monday overnight into Tuesday morning. I really want to stress that because having a severe threat in the middle of the night, it's hard to convey that messaging of warnings that are issued. So you have to make sure you have a plan set up. The KHOU app has a setting on it that you can set up to get the alerts right to your phone for your locality. Make sure you have that turned on and stay with us all throughout the next 36 hours to 48 hours as this system comes on through. All right, here's the overall timeline. Monday morning, so tomorrow morning, you're heading out to work, back to school after spring break. What we're looking at here is the winds picking on up. It'll be a windy day overall. Wind gusts up to 45 outside of any thunderstorms. Those winds coming in off the Gulf of Mexico bring in much moister air. Humidity will be up. You'll feel the stickiness in the air, and that will convey in cloud cover and shower chances. Some heavier downpours in the mix, too, during the Monday morning time frame. Now, Monday afternoon, still very windy. In fact, winds getting a little bit stronger as we get that squeeze play on the atmosphere with a front to the west and high pressure parked well off to our east. Scattered downpours becoming a little more numerous, and there could even be a few embedded thunderstorms in the mix there that could be on the stronger side as well. Now, Monday night into Tuesday morning, this is when the action really gets going. Severe risk increasing Monday night, flash flooding, a tornado threat as well, and this spills over into the Tuesday morning commute. As the cold front itself approaches, the severe risk continues and flash flooding is ongoing. Now, why we're talking so much about flash flooding is because this system will be extremely slow moving, and we'll see an instance kind of play out where storms move over the same area very slowly and track over the same area called training thunderstorms. And that could drop a lot of rain over a short amount of time. On top of that, the overall atmospheric setup is juiced up. There's a lot of moisture available for these storms to use and raining them back down with very heavy downpours and bringing up those rainfall totals quite quickly. So we're setting the stage now, right? We've had high pressure and control all weekend long. What it's doing is it's moving well off to our east and setting up over New Orleans, and that is driving a flow off the Gulf of Mexico onshore. And that's driving up our humidity, our dew points, the available moisture in the atmosphere, all energy that'll be used by the incoming dry line and cold front to facilitate the development of some strong to severe storms. Here's how it plays out. Look at that fetch coming in off the Gulf of Mexico. The brighter shades of green and yellow there is higher humidity, higher dew points, higher moisture availability. And what you're seeing up there is it's called PWATS, precipitable water values. And what this model is showing is when you take a column of air from the surface where you and I live all the way up into the sky and compress it, you squeeze out all that moisture. When you're seeing shades of green and yellow there, that's PWAT values of 1.5 to 2 inches. That means when you squeeze down and condense that whole column, you're getting about 2 inches of liquid, of moisture, of water. That's a lot of moisture available in there, and that'll come out in the way of a very heavy tropical-like downpours. On top of that, something that's a concerning feature that looks to be developing and being hinted at in a lot of our computer models is the favorable upper level flow of the jet stream. Now, we're looking at this here, and this is a lot going on, I know. So we've got a dip in the jet stream, a big dip, trough setting on up just off towards the west. And we've got a screaming high-level winds coming in out of the southwest, pushing off to the north and east. Now, notice what happens here right over our area early in the morning hours on Tuesday. A very strong jet, but that jet splits and diverges aloft. When that happens, it creates a void aloft. and rapidly rising air will move up and try to fill that void. And a lot of times that's favorable to the development of very heavy rainfall and helps to facilitate the ongoing development of strong supercell thunderstorms and providing more and more energy. So when we see that split there, the divergence aloft, that's a bit concerning and will be a favorable ingredient for these storms to be on the strong to severe side. All right, let's see how the models take all those variables into account and put out a forecast here. So here we are Monday morning, 8 a.m. Like we talked about, isolated to scattered showers, maybe a few heavier downpours. You'll notice the wind really starting to pick up as well, 20, 30 mile per hour winds, gusts higher than that. Here we are at lunchtime. Still scattered, isolated showers, a few heavier downpours in the mix as well. That continues into the evening commute. I don't think we'll have many issues out there. Of course, you may run into some heavier downpours, but the severe threat really not quite in the picture just yet. As we get past sunset into the overnight, notice what's going on off to the west and even out through most of our area. We're starting to see a few more scattered, isolated showers and thunderstorms developing that have the potential of being stronger or even severe, with a dry line approaching off to the west. And here's that dry line. Notice as it pushes east, it starts to fall apart as we approach midnight and beyond, and then the cold front to the west pushes on in and has a much more well-defined squall line with showers and thunderstorms there that build on in with gusty winds, the tornado threat, the flash flooding risk, and also the potential for some large hail too. And that front slowly moves on through. Here we are 7:30 in the morning, the middle of the morning commute on Tuesday. We've got widespread, extremely heavy rainfall, strong to severe thunderstorm building through the Houston metro area. And then finally, by lunchtime, that front should push far enough to the east that we start to bring in some improving weather conditions and skies clearing on out. So it's a longer duration event. Here's the latest from the Storm Prediction Center. Now this goes from a level 1 to a level 5. Level 1 being the lowest threat for severe weather, level 5 being the highest. Right now in the orange shading, which is the majority of the Houston metro area and our DMA, has a level 3. Right in the middle of the range there, coastal cities and counties in a level 2 in the yellow. Now, what does that mean? Let's break down the threats little by little here. Strong winds is going to be the main threat here. Gusty winds up to 55, 60, 70 miles per hour, certainly a possibility. The best timing to see this, 8 p.m. through 10 a.m. Tuesday morning. Here's the threat outline from the Storm Prediction Center showing that in the red shading here, which overlays on top of that level 3 threat that I just showed you in the orange, this area here has a 30% chance at any point within 25 miles of seeing storms that develop having wind gusts of over 55 miles per hour, a little bit less likely closer to the coastline there. The next threat, large hail, 1 to 2 inch diameter, is the possibility. Golf ball sized hail, seeing that same area here in the red, a 30% chance, but something new off to the west, this hashed area, that's the chances of seeing even higher diameter hail, like 2-inch diameter hail in those areas off towards the west as you get closer to Austin and San Antonio. And then the flash flooding threat. A lot of available moisture in the atmosphere, slow-moving thunderstorms, and then you say, it's been very dry for the past several weeks, and you're right. I mean, here's the drought report. The drought monitor shows parts of Fort Bend out towards Sealy, Sugar Land, Richmond area seeing a severe drought. So that's a good place to start when we're looking at a heavy rain event because the ground is able to take in a lot of that water. But with rainfall rates 2 to 3 inches an hour, yeah, it's going to overwhelm that quite quickly. And poor drainage areas, swollen bayous and streams will quickly fill on up and likely lead to some street flooding and flash flooding. Here's the flood potential. That has increased as well. In the red, north of I-10 is most favorable there. That's a moderate threat for flash flooding tomorrow night into Tuesday morning. I want to show you what some of the models are showing in terms of how much rain we may see. 2 to 4 inches in a lot of areas. You can easily double or triple these totals if you get some of these cells sitting over the same area or training over the same area for a longer duration of time. So we really have to watch that. And finally, tornado threat is pretty high for this type of setup for us. Here's the Storm Prediction Center's outlook. Again, the yellow is overlaying that level 3 threat. This yellow indicates a 10% chance of a tornado developing in this yellow area at any given point within 25 miles. Now, you may say 10%, that's not a big deal. It is a big deal, and on top of that, you see the hash mark over the yellow. That means that any tornadoes that do develop have a higher probability of being on the stronger side. And that's an EF2 or stronger that could certainly do some damage. So we're really going to have to watch this area for that 10% threat of a tornado. So tomorrow's forecast overall, starting things off windy with spotty showers, showers getting more widespread, and the severe threat going up after the sun goes down Monday into early Tuesday. It's going to be a windy day, as I mentioned, tomorrow as well. So through much of the daylight hours, we've got a wind advisory, and that's for 45-mile-an-hour gusts outside of any thunderstorm. So a very, very windy day, helping us set that severe threat. I want to tell you, though, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, because once we get towards Tuesday afternoon, skies clear out, and they stay sunny and gorgeous right into next weekend, with temperatures coming in a little bit below average, and we dry out fast and then warm up eventually to near 80 by next weekend. We're going to be following the evolution of this storm front as it arrives and as it pushes closer to our area tomorrow. Stay tuned on YouTube and all our social media accounts. Make sure you download the KHOU 11 app to set those alerts to your phone if there is a warning issued during this time frame of severe weather